Hello, everyone. Welcome to SEDLS 2021. Woo! So I have 10 o'clock by my computer, so we'll go ahead and get started with SEDLS. Yay! So we have a few opening remarks before we get to the first short talk session. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Mandy Swigert-Hobaugh. I am one of the various people that helped plan the SEDLS 2021. And if Joe could advance the next slide, we'll be able to see the list of all of my helpers, our helpers, not my helpers. I wasn't in charge of this thing. So these were all of the people that help with SEDLS. So, if we can give them virtual applause for all the hard work they've done. Thanks so much. This is our fourth year of SEDLS altogether, and it's our second year as virtual. So we've had half and half in person and virtual, and things are going pretty swimmingly. So that's great. So we'll advance to the next slide, please. So we would like to thank a couple of organizations. For one, RDAP, Research Data Access and Preservation, I think I said it all right, Association has been kind enough to host our registration system for us, handling the money things and such. And so we thank them for that service that they're providing for us. Very appreciated. And then we also would like to thank the UNC Greensboro University Libraries because they are the ones doing the Zoom platforms for the day. So, and Joe Klein, who's my co-host at the moment, is the driving force behind that. So thanks to Joe, but thanks more broadly to UNC Greensboro University Libraries. So if we can go to the next slide, please. So we'd like to just give a moment to a representative from RDAP that's here with us today, Katie Barrick, I'm going to say, if it's not Barrick. So if Katie would like to join in now, that would be great.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's Katie Barrick. Totally fine. I get Barrick all the time. I'll keep an eye on chat in case my volume goes out. We're having a storm here in the Midwest today, so exciting stuff. But I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much to Joe for inviting us to come and talk today. I just will take up a few minutes of your time. I just wanted to share a little bit about RDAP. As you can see from our little excerpt of our mission statement there up on the screen, we are a community of data managers, curators, librarians, researchers, data scientists, and kind of anyone that has to work with research data. And I will copy and paste that link into our chat as well. You can read more about our values as an organization online. Next slide, please. This is our current executive board. You might recognize a couple of these names. These are the folks that are in charge of kind of leading and organizing the association as a whole, as well as moving like our larger initiatives forward. Next slide. And these are our wonderful action committees. If you've ever been part or volunteered for an organization, you know it takes a lot of people to make things happen. And we are really lucky to have a number of awesome committees with great people on every single one of them. I could go further into what each one does, but again, I want to be respectful of people's time here. So I will link more information that I've ready to copy and paste in about the different committees. If you are interested in getting involved or just want to know more about RDAP in general, you are welcome to email our board at that email address there, rdapboard@gmail.com. Next slide and last slide. I also want to share that we are having our own summit here in a couple of months. We're currently all working really hard to make it happen. RDAP Summit 2022, which is weird to say, is coming up fast in March 2022. It is the first year we'll be doing multiple tracks, I believe, in our history. So we're expecting a lot of great events and speakers and panels. Our call for proposals recently went out. If it hasn't hit your inbox yet, you can also read more about it online. And we invite everyone who works, again, with research data to come and see what's going on in this weird, wild world. Yeah, and that's kind of all I have today. I'll stick around and chat for just like a few minutes if anyone has quick questions, but otherwise, that's me.
Great. Thank you so much, Katie. And Joe copied and pasted a couple of things into the chat, but please feel free is what I'm trying to say to copy paste more things in that you need to. So now I'm going to turn this over to Joe to talk about the format and logistics of today's SEDLS.
Cool, and hopefully my microphone works. I'm showing up as the speaker, so I'm guessing it does. So hello, I'm Joe Klein. I use they, them, or he, him pronouns, and I'm also one of the conference committee members with Andy. So my quick description of format and logistics, most of you have already seen this information in email, but I'm just going to repeat it just for, just in case. So today's short talks will take place in this Zoom session. You can leave and come back at any time. It won't kick you out and then lock you out. If you're a panelist, you might have to rejoin and then raise your hand so that we can reassign you as a panelist, because when you rejoin, it will have you set as an attendee. Note that Thursday and Friday have their own Zoom session links for short talks as well, so it won't be the same link as today. There are 2 other links for Thursday and Friday, which should have been sent out in that same email. So if you found this one, I'm confident you can find tomorrow's and Fridays as well. For attendees during short talks, you're going to be muted by default. So we are in Zoom webinars, which kind of puts the emphasis on the panelists or the presenters. Our workshops and our poster sessions going to work a little bit differently than that, but I'll get to those. So you're going to be muted by default. If you could please use the chat for general discussion and comments, and then ask questions for hosts, co-hosts, panelist eyes only in the Zoom Q&A. So this helps those questions not get buried in the chat, because sometimes it can move pretty quick, especially if there's a more interactive session. During a talks question and answer session, you can please raise your hand if you would like to be unmuted to speak. We'll have the panelists of the next short talk session also raising their hand. So you might get a panelist or one of the hosts or co-hosts chatting with you to say, hey, what's your question? Or would you like to be unmuted? And then captions. So we do have live captions enabled. I believe if you go to the more menu in Zoom, you can click on view subtitles or subtitle settings. It's giving me an interesting view for that since I am the co-host sharing my screen right now. But if you need to enable captions, if you would like to have that transcript, that's going to be in that more menu. And if you have trouble with that, feel free to put in the chat chat to one of the panelists and we can help you figure that out. For short talk presenters, including these next sessions, but also future sessions, if you could please be in the Zoom room 10 to 15 minutes prior to the beginning of the session block when you're presenting, and then use the raise your hand feature so that we can help find you. So this is more in case your name is showing up odd in the display. So some folks will have like their first initial and then last name. So this will help us identify you so that we can make you a panelist later for your presentation. Hosts are going to give you 5, 3, and 1 minute left verbal prompts to keep hosts within your time, or talks within the time, excuse me. So you'll probably hear a weird audio blip since Zoom's not great at prioritizing audio, but we'll try to time it for when there's a break in talks. And I believe Nina just put in, they put it in for hosts and panelists. So if you see the CC Live Transcript button at the bottom of your Zoom window and click it, it'll give you 3 options to toggle captions, toggle a live transcript, or change settings. So I think the live transcript is what you're looking for. Alrighty. So during the end of your short talk slot, if you are a presenter, most likely during the question and answer session, the co-hosts are going to be assigning the next presenters as panelists. So don't be alarmed, either attendees or panelist presenters. Don't be alarmed if you see other panelists show up while somebody is finishing up their short talk. It just means we're preparing for the next session. We're going to be recording each short talk separately, so please be aware that the host will make announcements, the recording has begun, the recording has ended. So you might have gotten that announcement when I first started recording at the beginning of this opening, and you'll likely get a notice that we've stopped at the end of it. For workshops, 1 p.m. Wednesday and Friday, those are going to be in their own Zoom sessions. If you registered for a workshop or 2 workshops, you should have received links to those via email. If you haven't, ping us at se.datalibrarian@gmail.com, which has been emailing you this entire time. And we can help figure that out and see why you haven't got that link yet. For workshop presenters, you should have been invited to a calendar invite with the workshop link, but I've already got a couple emails, so we'll resend those out just in case. For the poster session, that's going to be 1 p.m. on Thursday, so tomorrow afternoon. You'll join the poster session Zoom room, which was sent out with these links for the short talks. And you'll be able to hop between the breakout rooms, which host each poster. So we're going to have each poster presenter and their posters set up in breakout rooms, and you'll be able to go back and forth between them as you would like. You can ask questions in the chat or unmute yourself in your video and contribute to that discussion around the posters. It's not going to be like the short talks where you are an attendee and you can't unmute. For both workshops and poster sessions, since you can unmute your video and audio, please remember to mute your mic when you're not speaking in workshops and poster sessions. And if at any point you have audio problems or Wi-Fi connectivity issues or internet connectivity issues, then try muting your video and see if that helps the connection. And then my final plug is going to be for the Discord. So a known limitation of virtual events is that attendees miss out on the kind of spontaneous interaction and discussions that happen between sessions during our face-to-face events. So you can't really go into the conference hall and talk to colleagues that you see or meet new people in virtual conferences. So to help facilitate the networking and discussion, for many of us, those are pretty key parts of an event like SEDLS. So we have created a Discord to help facilitate that. So symposium sessions are being held in Zoom. Communications are still going to be occurring via email, but the Discord is going to add a networking and discussion functionality, and it's not required for you to participate in symposium proceedings. So you don't have to use the Discord, although we do recommend it for that extra discussion and networking. Additionally, if you'd like to ask questions and participate in discussions about posters, but you can't make it to that poster session, or if you run out of time to ask your question during the poster session, the Discord has channels or places where you can chat for each poster session where presenters may come in, see those questions, or we'll copy paste them into the poster session chat for you. So Discord is basically a chat service, if you couldn't guess it already, if you're not familiar with it. It's similar to Slack, if anyone has used that. You can use it on desktop in Windows, Mac, or Linux. You can use it in your browser. So you can use it in Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, or I think Microsoft Edge is the new version. And then you can download it and use it as a mobile app on iOS or Android. To log into the in-browser app or download it, you can visit this URL, which I'm going to copy into the chat really quick. And Doreen, I saw your question. I'll get to that in 1 second. So discord.com/download is where you can download that. And then to join the Southeast Data Librarian Symposium Discord, once you've created an account on Discord, you've verified your email, you'll have to have that verified for around 5 minutes. And then you can click on this XWR3 link that I just typed into the chat, which is what will take you to the Southeast Data Librarian Discord. So it has that 5-minute email verification to help avoid spam and bots. So that is it for Discord. And Doreen, for your question, you don't see the options for audio or video, so how do we speak? So in Zoom webinars and the short talks, you won't have the options for audio or video, but what you can do is raise your hand and we can enable you to unmute if you would like to during the Q&A sessions, or just type your question into the chat, or that you would like to ask a question using your mic. All right, and I'm going to pass it back to Mandy.
All right, thank you. So thanks for all the overview. So I think, did you just advance the slide? I don't even know.
I did.
Okay, sorry. So things to know. So some of the links that you're seeing here are things that you already have, but we just want to remind you. So you have the Zoom links to be able, the Zoom links page, link to the Zoom links page so that you can join the Zoom session, the poster session, and so on. The program with abstracts that describe all the talks and posters and workshops, that there's a link there as well, and you should have been sent that in the emails that were sent out prior. We do have a code of conduct that is another page on our website. So we ask that, if you take a look at that code of conduct, and there is a form linked from that code of conduct to be able to report any concerns you might have in that realm of code of conduct. So please go there for those. Twitter, we do have a Twitter account and a Twitter hashtag. So we've got SEDLS 2020 or hashtag SEDLS 2021. So, you know, if you're feeling like tweeting, go out there, go forth and tweet. We have the email that Joe mentioned, and I'll be monitoring that today, and also in Discord. If you need to communicate with us in any way, we'll try to keep on top of that. And then we know that sometimes people need more proof that they were actually attending a virtual conference. So we have created a certificate that we have a link there, and I believe I've sent that out in email to you as well, but just as a reminder. And if you need more proof for some reason of attendance and or presenting, excuse me, please do feel free to contact the Gmail, the Southeast Data Librarian Gmail that you see there, and we can try to get you some kind of more official proof if what you have is not enough. So if we could go next slide. So we are ready.